Hey guys, it's Jake from Pinball Galaxy. Today we're going to go over Nailbuster's Baller Installer Beta Builds Bonanza. In this tutorial we're going to cover how to install the install process for the Baller Installer build. So come join me today on your workstation and we'll get into this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your favorite web browser. Today I'm using Google Chrome. And we're just going to do a simple Google search for Nailbuster, Baller Installer, and then that's all we're going to type. And you know, Google's going to prompt us, did you mean Nailbuster, one word? Yeah. But basically the first link that you're going to see here is going to be Nailbuster's website for the Baller_Installer PinUP virtual pinball system. We're going to click this link and it's going to take us to the website. From here, go ahead and give this a quick once over. You know, there's a lot of good information from Mr. Nailbuster on, you know, the product that he puts out. But once you're at this page, we're going to find the Hold Up Now Available Baller Installer Beta Builds Bonanza. Click here link. So we're going to go ahead and click there. It's going to take us to the Baller Installer Beta Builds Bonanza page. And once again, I recommend you guys give this a quick read over once you are here, and just read everything that it has to say. You know, I've already been through this, so we're just going to quick scroll down to the download link here. You know, it's going to say November 30th, 2023, and it's going to have the PinUP Popper Baller Installer 2311.exe install link. You're going to go ahead and click that. And it's going to start downloading. Your computer might throw you an error and say it's an unknown source. If it does that, this is a completely safe install. You know, there's no need to, you know, throw the red flag there. Just click run anyway. I'm not sure, it depends on the web browser you're using as to what options you're going to have. So go ahead and click that. For the sake of time, I've already, you know, downloaded the installer here, so I'm just going to go quick to my downloads and we're going to click the PinUP Popper Baller Installer 2311 file. That's going to load up, and it's just going to take a second here for us folks to have that all loaded. But what that's going to do, again, you know, Windows is trying to protect your PC is the first pop-up we get. We're going to hit more info. It's going to say app, and it's going to say it's from an unknown publisher, and it's going to give us the option to run anyway. We're going to go ahead and click that and run this file. And then you're going to have the setup for the PinUP Popper Baller Installer version 2023.11. It's going to have the licensing agreement for you. Go ahead, give that a quick read through. I'm going to click the Accept Agreement button and then click Next. It's going to ask you where do you want to install this. You know, I recommend the recommended path. You guys have a specific path that you guys want to put it. Go ahead and click Browse and find the file path. I'm just going to let it go with recommend it and click Next, and we're going to click Install after that. From here, it's going to go through the install process. This could take a couple minutes. Alrighty guys, once the download install finishes, you're going to have a prompt for Microsoft DirectX. We're going to accept the agreement and hit Next. Hit Next again and let this install run. Once that install finishes up again, you're going to click Finish, and it's going to come back to our original wizard, and it's going to prompt us to run the config. So we're going to click Finish yet again, and now we're going to run the PinUP Popper Baller Installer version 2023.11 November. And this is the configurator page for the Baller Installer. Give this first you know, page quick setup because it tells you exactly what it's installing and what it's about. Once you have read it and you're ready to go ahead and click Next Page. Now this is the configuration page that's going to dictate your screen layout for the PinSim VR. Depending on what you're using, it being a laptop or a desktop is going to, you know, dictate what you're picking out here. So we are going to pick desktop screen 1 for our current configuration. This is going to be the choice that you pick for both laptops and desktops, and then you're going to come down to playfield resolution, and this is going to be specific to you. For my purpose today, I am going to pick HD 1080p. It's going to give us a little bit better performance, but if you are running a 4K setup, you can select the 4K option. Now we're going to go ahead and click Apply Layout. Then it's going to give us a quick warning here about our arranging our displays. Due to the fact that we are only using a single display, this is not prominent to us. So once we have that there, we're going to go ahead and click Next Page, and it's going to give us a couple different options that we have to do in sequence. So of course we're going to start with Step 1, Test Display Layout. It's going to give us a status message that says only one monitor found, assume desktop mode, proceed. Like we said before, we click desktop mode, one screen. Now we're going to click Step 2, Install Apps. Once you click Install Apps, you should get another status message that's saying the Install Apps is working. You might get 2 command line prompts coming up, and then a Microsoft Visual C++ install. Just let everything install, pop up, everything's going to work for a little bit. And then once that's done, you should get a message on your status window that says we're ready to go. Alrighty, so once that is fully installed, you're going to get a message that says installing apps finished. Proceed to Step 3. For Step 3, we're going to set up display positions. This is a critical factor for having your your home screen look proper. So once we click Step 3, it is going to bring up the window, and this is going to give us a couple different options. One of the things to note here, like it says down on the bottom, is that settings are auto-saved when changing screens. That means when you click through this list here, everything will save when you change it. So right now we are on our topper. I'm going to leave it in the upper left-hand position here at the size that it is, just because I don't want to mess with it. If you guys want it a little bigger, go ahead and adjust it. It's going to be a little bit of a personal choice. If you want it somewhere else on your screen, go ahead and move it around now. I'm just going to quick run through this list, make sure everything's looking alright. But again, feel free to customize how you want your layout to look. So for our DMD, this one I am going to move because it's off to the right here. I like my DMD to be nice and center, so I'm going to move it to the top center of my screen. Now this position will save once I go ahead and I move to the next position here. So we're going to go to back glass. Back glass I do enjoy in the top right here, so we're going to leave it alone. Playfield is going to be our whole screen. This is what will be seen in on the screen when you're not in your VR headset. And then I do believe that is all that you want to check out here. You can go ahead, hit Save Settings once you're done with the playfield, and then you can exit Setup. Once Step 3 is finished, you're going to be prompted to proceed to Step 4, which is to apply display settings to all apps. Go ahead and click that. It's going to update, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the next step, DMD page. It should be a button in the bottom right of the PinUP Popper Baller Installer. Alrighty, once we get to this page, there is a bunch of code that is presented to you. Don't touch that. That is just what the app itself is using to configure the settings for your DMD. What you are going to click, however, is Test DMD, and once that loads, it is going to give us what our dot matrix display is going to look like. So we can see here it says PinUP Popper. You can move this and resize this if you'd like. I'm going to leave it this size because it's the proper aspect ratio. However, I am going to go ahead and move this over a little bit to be more centered. Once that's good, you can go ahead and click Save DMD Settings and Stop Test. Once you are done with this, there are some other settings if you want to check them out. We could do the Show Full Dot Matrix Display here, or it's just a checkbox to see what it looks like with how back glass would be if you had a split back glass. We're not going to be worrying about that today. You also again have the show back glass option to see how it would look if you had a different monitor. But today, for our purposes, we're just going to go ahead, run that test DMD, save the DMD settings, and then stop test, and we're going to go to the next page. And that's it for the PinUP Popper Baller installer here. I do believe if you try and click next page again, it does not take you anywhere. From here, we are going to do a couple updates for quality of life assurance here, and just to make things easier for you guys once you are running the PinSim VR with your VR headset. So go ahead and click close, and we are now have a new folder on our desktop called PinUP. You're going to go ahead and click PinUP, and it's going to give you all the packages that you just installed with the Baller installer. One of the ones that we're looking for specifically is PinUP Popper Config. We're going to go ahead and click that and open it. You're going to be greeted with the PinUP Popper setup, and we're not super concerned with everything else here, but this little button in the upper right hand corner that says check for updates. So we're going to go ahead and click check for updates. It's going to ask us, are you sure you want to check for updates? Internet connection required. We're going to go ahead and click yes. Alright, now we are at the PinUP updater. There is a README that you can view here that tells you everything that goes on with this updater and how it works with all the package updates. I'm going to go ahead and click check for updates here. It's going to go ahead and work, and once it's done working, it will give us a list of all the updates that are available to be installed. If this is your first install, there's generally quite a lot, so we're going to go ahead and click apply updates. Let this run for a minute or two, and then we'll be right back. Once the updater has finished, you will be greeted with an all finished message. Go ahead and click OK on that. And of course, if you want, you can recheck for updates, and once you do that, it will tell you that there are no more things to update. If there is, go ahead and click apply updates again. No updates needed, all good. Go ahead and click OK, and you're good to close this software. Now, last quality of life thing that we're going to do is we're going to change this Visual Pinball X shortcut here to be the one that works best with the VR headset. So go ahead and you can delete this shortcut, and then we are going to go into our File Explorer, and we're going to go to our C drive. Once we're in our C drive, you should have a V Pinball folder. You go ahead and open that up, and then you're going to have Visual Pinball here as well. Click Visual Pinball folder, and you're going to scroll down until we find Visual Pinball X _ GL64. This is the program that we are trying to make a shortcut of. Once you find that GL file, we are going to make a shortcut in our PinUP folder. So we're going to go ahead and right click, we're going to click New, we're going to click Shortcut. We're going to Browse, and then we're going to find our file path. For me, it is this PC, C, V Pinball, Visual Pinball, and then we're going to scroll down until we find Visual Pinball X GL64. Go ahead and click OK, and then click Next, and click Finish, and then you guys will have a shortcut to Visual Pinball X. And with that shortcut created, guys, you should have everything set up to go ahead and start delving into the Visual Pinball experience with your PinSim VR. In our next video, we're going to show you how to configure Visual Pinball to work with the PinSim VR. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.